Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope you are all doing well out there. Thanks for swinging in here. Happy 404 day. It is 5 p.m. on the west coast of the United States, which means it is 404 time. Now, really quick. First of all, can you all hear me? I'm hoping you can all hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully. Seems we might have some lag. Whoa. What's going on here? There we go. I think we're good now. Yes, you can hear me. We're good. Awesome. You can see me. Cool. Okay, so for those of you who heard the intro music, what if I told you that all of that intro music was made on the SP-404 Mark II without any external synths or samples? You would probably be like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. Da-da-da-da-da. Wow. And it's all true. I should have had that Han Solo meme where he's like, it's true, all of it. Yeah, it's true. All of that was made just on the SP-404 Mark II with no external synths or samples. And that's because as I change the thumbnail and the title of the stream here, we're actually going to be looking at the brand new SP-404 Mark II update that just launched mere seconds ago. I'm super proud to introduce the 4.04 firmware update for the Mark II here, of course, in celebration of 404 Day. Roland decided to drop the brand new firmware update on the SP-404 Mark II. You've seen the title of the video by now, hopefully, of the stream. This is now a synth, which is super cool. I'm going to pop over to my Patreon Discord server real quick and remind people we're live. There we go. All right. So if you go to Roland's website, you can download this firmware update right now. But let me run you through a few of the features here. I will say Roland did give me this update early, but this is not sponsored by Roland or anything like that. They didn't even ask me to make a video or to stream or anything. However, the embargo date that I was given for when I could actually talk about the firmware update literally happened to be the exact time and date that I stream every week, no matter what. So it just seemed like a no-brainer to stream. I did check it with my Roland rep, and he's like, yeah, go for it. Live stream it up. So here we are. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of walk you through everything in the firmware update. There is now a looper. There's an audio looper in the 404 Mark II. There's now multi-pad export, so you can export individual pads from your patterns as individual samples, which is cool. The 404 Mark II is also now a official koala sampler controller, which is neat. There's a new groove function, which will take basically any audio. It works best with drum loops, but it will go ahead and apply real-time processing to it to like introduce swing and groove to it. And there's also a humanize element that'll like adjust the amount of the swing on the fly. You can set it to be really subtle, or you can crank it all the way up to be like borderline unusable, which I know a lot of people will do some really cool shit with. You can now preset measures for recording and resampling, which I know is a big one for a lot of people. People have been asking for that. But yeah, now when you go to sample something, look at that right there. I can now set the amount of measures, which is very, very cool. That's going to be a big one for a lot of people, myself included. It makes resampling patterns really easy now too, because you can just dial in the time you want. They call it the sound generator. It's basically a synth. We are going to focus on that in today's video. But there is a bunch of other stuff too, including the ability to now route the click to the headphones. You can name files and projects on board. You can merge samples up to 4 into 1, which is really cool. And there's seriously so much more. I would... Sadiq Cat, there it is. I was waiting. As soon as I saw the koala sampler integration, I knew one of my patrons was going to make a joke about it just being a phone app controller. I mean, technically, it is a phone app controller now. So, yeah. But yeah, there's tons of other stuff. The 404 is honestly becoming so versatile at this point. So many of these features I didn't even really check out. What button do you push to hear the amen break? Well, whatever you sample it to. I don't have that here. There you go. And the price of this thing is still, I believe, $499 US, which is crazy. So today, like I said, we're going to focus on the sound generator. I haven't had a ton of time to play with the update, but the sound generator is one thing that I have had time to work with. So that's what I'm going to showcase today. Thought I'd do a 404 stream tomorrow. Keep in mind that in a lot of the world, it is 404. And the brand new 404 update is what we are looking at right now that just came out 6 minutes ago. So, yeah, this really feels like a more of a groovebox now, like a complete groovebox with the synth or the sound generator built in. So, all of these sounds I made on board. Same with that. All of that just come from stuff that I put in. Or that I made. I didn't put it in, that I made on here, which is super neat. If you wonder why I'm reaching over here, I've got my tablet with a few talking points. But I've reached the end of those. So let's dive into the sound generator. So I'm just going to open a blank project, which I only have one left here. And we will get into it. So to access the sound generator, you simply hold Shift and push record setting. Now... There we go. We're in the sound generator. There are 15 different wave types to choose from. Look at that. Including 2 noise ones. So yes, you can make drums. And I suck at sound design, and I was able to make those drums and all the sounds you heard in the intro. So if I can do it, anyone can. You can change the frequency there, so your pitch, and it actually tells you in hertz, as well as the equivalent note. So there's like a G sharp, and you can trigger those with the sub pad, or you can just play this like it's a chromatic keyboard. Let's see here. That's volume. The amount of times I've done that. Yeah, I like Sawtooth. If we hold down Shift, then we can also access pad length, which that comes into play when we sample the... I'm just going to call it the synth. When we sample the synth engine to a pad, like a normal project. Then you can also adjust your panning here. I'm going to keep it balanced. And then you can also adjust your scale here. So we can go C. Yeah, we'll just go C. Or sorry, we'll just go, yeah. I'm looking at it from a weird angle. There, now we're at just C major. Cool, right? So let's go ahead, and you can use effects straight from here too. That's a terrible one. So there's the cloud delay right there. The synth is controllable with a MIDI keyboard. Yes, it is. The main thing you want to do here, though, I'm going to turn that off, is sample it to a pad, and then I would play it from a keyboard there. So to do that, we hit record. Now we're going to select our pad, so let's just go right here. Actually, we'll pick our note, and then right here, record again. There we go. I think the intent here is more for it to be sampled, but yes, I do believe you can play it with a MIDI keyboard. So from here, it's just like we imported a basic wave into the 404. So if we want to put some chorus on it here. And of course, we could resample that. We can go into chromatic mode. We can set it to poly. Might be a bit low for us here, so we can go pitch. It has been a minute since I've used the pitch screen. There we go. So you can do it that way, or I could have just sampled a higher note. In fact, that's probably better. There's still so many little things that I haven't learned about the 404. So I was really grateful that Roland reached out. I've actually been using the sound generator a ton in my live show stuff, because I'm able to, like, if I need a quick synth note or just like a bass note in there, I can very easily just score it right here, you know? Let's grab... There we go, we'll grab C4. There we go, and of course our gate control still works the same, so we can go in and grab our envelope. Fine-tune that to our liking there, just like that. Can you jam a melody from the synth and record that as a sample? Yes. Here, we'll go in here. So I like sampling it first, because then you can use the envelope, but with the skip back function, so I can just do that and then hit mark to use skip back, which, if you don't know what mark does, it records the last, I want to say 40 seconds of any audio that's come out of here. and we can pinpoint right in there. So I could resample that to a pad, and there we go. This is now a controller for a phone app, Groove Twig. So you could do it that way, Sadiq Cat, or you could go to chromatic mode with a sample here and maybe pick a different scale. There's also different scale types for chromatic mode now too. That's part of the update. We could go in. Let's grab a different filter here. We'll go high pass. I'm super bad at sound design, like I said, but it's so fun to just like mess with stuff and just see what you can get. Might be a bit hot, sorry. So you can really just play whatever you want, and then I could go ahead and like resample that to a pad and play that or reverse it or whatever. Or I can just pick one note and resample it with an effect or anything like that. Tell you what, let's play something. So the thing now with the 404 Mark II is that there's so much it can do that there's like different ways to achieve the same thing, like multiple paths, which I really like because I don't necessarily have to remember the exact way to do something. Yes, Sadiq Cat, I just saw your comment. That's why they call it a sound generator, not a synth. There's no envelope built in. There's no like filter or anything built in. You need to resample from effects. But with the skip back, you can do things like this, like now we can just resample that to a pad here. There we go. Now we can put another effect on there, like the cloud delay. We can skip that back. Truncate that just so it's a little easier to pinpoint. There we go. Normalize it. And we'll just overwrite the pad there. So there's that. Then we could also go in and, I don't know, put like a big ol' reverb on it or something like that. I just turned on reverse there. Now I can sample that, which is, or resample it using skip back, right, with Mark. And add another effect to that if we want. Now this is all pretty normal 404 stuff, actually. But it's just that it generates all of the waveforms itself for you, which is really, really cool. Yeah, it's definitely work to come up with the stuff that you want. But it's interesting. It's like a different kind of work. I'm not used to this workflow of resampling stuff. And like I can adjust things in real time. Also, the screen is just exquisite for dialing in stuff like this here. How far do I want to go? So it just becomes this whole like different game kind of. You know, of what you want to do and how you want to get there. So I'm just continuously resampling. What if we add like the bit crusher. I could skip back on that. That sounds really cool right there, right? So what if we just go ahead and take that, like put that down here. We can go ahead, whoop, wrong one. Normalize that. We can, whoop, I meant to go envelope. There we go. There we go. So like, anything that I make in there I can take and turn into a sample. It's just very different, and it kind of works for me personally in a sound design manner because, like I said, I don't really like traditional sound design. So here it's more about like, what can I get going with the perfect combination of effects and tweaking stuff in real time, you know? Nice table. The wood grain is delicious. Thank you. This was like $50 on Amazon. I've had it for a couple of years now. But yeah, it's pretty cool to have this built in. Like I said, I've been using it a lot. Now, is it going to replace like my Fireball, which is a very powerful wavetable synth? Absolutely not. Is it going to replace my Volca keys? Maybe. You know what I mean? Like the Volca keys is my go-to synth to sample for all of my basic waveforms. Now it is analog, but I'm sampling it, so we kind of lose that. This gets a lot right. So we can sample some noise here. Like I said, I'm terrible at sound design, so bear with me. Here we go. And we're actually going to delete that, and I'll show you how we can... whoops, shift. We'll actually only sample half a second. There we go. So now if we go into the envelope here. Okay. And now we can skip back and grab one of those samples. One of those little thingies we just made. So it definitely is work, but I've found that it's not work that I personally mind doing. Like, I don't know. That's super cool to me that this is all just on here standalone now. I thought I was... There we go. We'll get this one. Still figuring out how to navigate the screen as best as possible. And you can also just resample. I tend to prefer to grab from skip back though. And we'll just recut it there. There we go. So there's like a cool drum effect sound right there, and I didn't do anything other than tweak the filter in real time. We do need to readjust our envelope though. There we go. I could double down on the filter. Add some drive. There's just so much fun you can have here. We could go in and add like distortion, right? If I could find it. Oh yeah, there's a new effect in here, a DJ delay, I believe. I haven't really gotten into, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I haven't really been able to explore a ton of the rest of the update, but I have been using the sound generator a lot. Distortion. So we could resample it with that on there. EQ. Of course, you got the overdrive, all the effects. It's just right there. Like, we just made that on device. So you could be out. Remember, this thing is battery powered if you want it to be. I'm just powering it Type-C off the wall right now. But we've had some great weather the past couple days here in Oregon. So not so much today, but like yesterday, I was out on the patio playing with the sound generator with a USB power bank. Bobby, we are exploring the brand new 404 update for the SP-404 Mark II, which should be live right now on Roland's website. Actually, let's go ahead and see if it is. I'll go ahead and link it if it is. Let's see here. My biggest fear doing any sort of like product launch is that I get the time wrong. Oh, it's out. Okay. Okay, here we go. That's, whoop, I almost linked it straight to GrooveTwig in a private message. Nope. There we go. Actually, I'm just going to pin that. There we go. But yeah, there's a ton of cool stuff in here. Like I said, recording patterns, you can now, or if you want to sample a pattern, it's really easy because now you can set your measure length. I'm going to go back into the pattern that you all heard when you first came in. So these are drums I made. Every sound here, every sound here is made on the 404. There's nothing external. Which was really cool. And then I just put them in patterns and messed with them. For the last pattern there, all I did was sample a little bit of the cloud delay onto, like, I just chopped the front end off of a sample, separated it out, and yeah, sampled it with the cloud delay there. Was this our empty project? Yeah. So it kind of makes it for a cool, like, ambient machine too, because just of how wild you can get and how weird you can get with some of your stuff. Keep in mind you can also resample patterns, and another thing they added for this update, you can now resample pattern chains. You can bounce a pattern chain down to a single sample, so you could really do some cool ambient stuff. Remember, you've got 16 minutes of sample length per sample, so each one of these across all 10 of these banks can have a different 16-minute sample. And the sequencer goes up to 64 measures. Hey, take care, Sadiq Cat. Have a good night. Fact is, the 404 is worth every penny as an effects processor alone. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I would argue that this is probably up there with the groovebox in terms of, like, just bang for the buck value, like how much gear, how much device you actually get. It took a while for this thing to click with me, but now it really clicks, and even more so with this update. Yeah, just so cool, and all the different effects here. I mean, it gets nuts. Let's make a new sound. Let's make, I don't know. What's our effect right now? Oh, reverb. We can change our scale, C minor. And let's see, what else can we do here? We can adjust the length. Yeah, that's about it. So it's very bare bones in terms of the actual synth. Yes, the firmware version is 4.04. I think they had to skip a few to get there. It's worth it. I mean, and come on, it's coming out on 404 day. Pretty cool. That sounds really nice with the reverb right there. So we can just sample it as is to a pad here. That'll do it dry. And you'll actually hear that I forgot to set the pad length. I had it set to 1 second. We'll do it at 3. I could also use skip back and just resample that right there, right? You can also preview it on different effects buses. So there it is, dry. Bus 1 with the reverb. Bus 2 is also empty right now. So that's pretty cool. And you can access skip back directly, which is also nice. But let's just go ahead and put this right here. There we go. What do we want to do from here? I kind of want to make like just a nice pad. I don't know. Is that possible? Probably not. Like I said, I'm so bad at sound design. I do love the cloud delay, though. Okay. Dang it. And I'm still learning the 404, too, you know? There we go. That's more of the sound I want. I'm not sure what the exact size of the pads is. Pads are. I don't know. I've got pretty average hands. About like yay or so. So let's sample that, or we can just play it in chromatic mode here too. Yeah, that's a cool sound. Let's go ahead and sample, or we'll play it just like that. Okay, now we'll go to skip back. And if there's stuff I'm missing, which I'm sure there is, just because there's literally so much to this device. I mean, I didn't even come into appreciating this thing until we were on the 3.02 firmware, something like that. Like, that definitely sounds a bit hot, doesn't it? So, let's go back to chromatic mode. And let's bring the level of the sample down a bit. There we go. Because you can always normalize from skip back. So that works out just fine. Chromatic mode, here we go. Okay. Yeah, that looks a little kinder, doesn't it? There is I'm not sure if I mentioned it. I may have just mentioned it. If that's the case, I'll feel like a real idiot. But there is a level meter too when you're sampling, which is cool. That's new for this update. Also, you can rename samples and projects on the device, which is great. And you can also change the pad colors per bank, which I have not done yet because I've shown the 404 on camera and I didn't really want to give it away that I was on a new firmware. I've been on this firmware for a while, by the way, which has been hard not to talk about because I've just been really enjoying the sound generator, the editor. We will truncate there. Yeah, that's good. And we'll just resample it to number 5. Nice. Now, let's go back to chromatic mode. Whoops. What was the sample we used? That. Okay. Let's go back to chromatic mode and get a major sample here. So here we go. There we go. And now since you can sequence things chromatically, we could just use these as a couple of chords in a song. I'm not thrilled with how sketchy the beginning of that is, so we'll move it forward a bit. There we go. Truncate that. Beautiful. Yeah, nice. And we'll put that on number 6. So now we have a minor chord and a major chord. Let's go ahead and add an envelope here. That's fine. Okay. Let's go ahead and put those, well, mute groups don't count for envelopes, I believe. I don't believe anyway. Let's try it. Let's put these on these two on a mute group. Yeah, so the release of an envelope does not get muted by a mute group. But now what we can do is add some like reverb. Man, how cool is that? Let's go ahead and go into a pattern sequencer here. And we'll set it to 16 bars. And we'll go 8. Yeah, that's fine. Now, let's see. We will hit record. And okay. Now, if we go into this pattern here, change it to TR-Rec, I believe, or no, we still want remain. We still want real time, that's right. What was I doing? I'm going this chord here. And we're going to go chromatic. There we go. Now we can see our measure. We're going to play this major chord right here once it comes around. Forgot I had to hold it down. Cool. So, I should have done a shorter pattern, but you get the idea, right? We can just go... I gotta fix that. It's gonna bug the hell out of me. We'll go remain, record, and if I go to... Nope. That one, and... There we go. Now we can replay it. Once it comes around. I'm actually not sure if this is how the sequencer works. Now, how do I make it hold longer in the pattern sequencer? But you get how that works. So this is not part of the update. This is just me being an idiot and wandering around the sequencer. But there's some really cool shit here. If you hold shift and click in, just trying to stop it. If you hold shift and click in, whoops, okay, that'll turn off skip back and enable the looper, which that's a whole nother thing. I wasn't planning on showcasing that because I haven't really used it. But if we hit mark now it goes to the looper. I guess we can show that off. Tell you what, let's actually go back to that previous project. No, we'll stick on the one we're on. Where's that sound? There we go. Okay. Oh, you have to hit... I see. Oh, it's still going. There we go. So I looped some internal audio there. But you can loop incoming audio as well. So yeah, we now have a full looper, complete with overdub. This is just a mess. You get the idea. It's a looper. It's pretty cool. Hey Terry, how's it going? This looper is definitely not going to end the Sheeran looper. So you do get, I believe, 4 measures. That might be the max you get, but it's just cool to have. And there's some, like, you can do some really cool stuff. Like you can resample while it's going, basically. And that's another thing. I believe there's also a few adjustments to the workflow here that just kind of make it so you can do more stuff while, like, the sequencer is running or while you're sampling. Just kind of some workflow improvements. This looper will not be replacing the Sheeran Looper X for me, but it is very cool to have it on board. Shift plus OK. There we go. And it's pretty crazy that it got such a big feature this late into, you know, this has been out 3 years now. But yeah, for me, the major thing is the record setting, or the shift record setting, sorry, the sound generator. The fact that none of this was made on the or externally from, outside the 404. Can't talk. The fact it was all made within the 404 is pretty freaking crazy. Can we crop the pattern? Error? I don't know. I've never tried that. I don't know what that does. And it's just so versatile. Like I said, when I'm working on a song, Western Civilization is gifted a donation. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Favorite 404 jam artists on YouTube right now? I honestly don't know. I don't watch a ton of... I've been too busy to watch a ton of YouTube right now. Terry, we are currently on the 404 update right now. You're late to the stream, my friend. I debuted it. It came out about 45 minutes ago. I've been on it for secretly for a while now, so shout out to Roland for hooking that up. But Western Civilization, I'm not really sure. I do watch SP vids for like all the tutorials. That's a pretty excellent channel. Jade Wee has done some cool SP stuff, but I just haven't had time to watch a lot of YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, Terry, right now we are on the new update. It's got a sound generator. All of this that you're hearing was made all on board the 404 Mark II. It's got a looper now, too. Can control koala sampler. Yeah. There's a ton of stuff going on here. Just absolutely incredible. The amount of versatility in this update. Let's see here. What else do I want to do? It's almost like option paralysis now. Yeah, I don't know what else I want from the 404, honestly. Well, I tell you what I do want. I would love to be able to assign individual MIDI note numbers to the pads because I trigger the 404 a lot in my live setup. That would make things very easy. But the onboard sound generator is so cool. Just because, like I said, like if I'm playing a song, right, or working on a song in the live rig, and I'm like, I need a little more bass right there. I just need a little more oomph. I can literally just come in here, find the note I need, Okay, so right there we could skip back. That completely caught me off guard, but I can just go in and like sample it really quick and just make it for myself. And then I don't have to worry about it. And from there I can either just throw that into the SPDSX if I need it there, or I can just trigger it from here. That's why I would love the ability to assign MIDI note numbers to pads, because then I could like sample something and just throw it on a pad, match that up with the key on the keyboard I need to play, or the pedal I need to hit on a MIDI foot pedal controller that I'm hoping to have someday, hoping it exists. But yeah, it's super cool. Let's go ahead and resample this. Noise we made. Oh. Where did it go? Let's try that again. Did we not? Oh god. What did I do? I did the wrong thing. Yeah. That's sick. Not having a video game is a missed opportunity. What all the OP1 has a game, and the Polygon Tracker and Tracker Mini have games? Is that it? That's such a sick sound. Oh, that's literally the sound. I see. Yeah. We're going to resample that. Just put it right here. That could make a sick kick, actually. Right? Well, now I kind of want to chop the end off. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. And I'll just resample it so I don't have to worry about anything else. And let's go ahead and sequence it. Yeah, here we go. Where did I put it? There we go. Yeah. That sounds sick. I love the bit crusher. Yeah, that's so cool. That sounds super nice. Let's see if I can remember how to bring up the groove feature. We can just end with that. So I'm actually going to go back to the previous project that had all the intro music that you heard. Is that the one we were already on? No, which project was that? Is it 11? Yeah. Actually, here, I'll show you a couple things. So, check this out. If we want to resample this pattern right here, if you look at the top of the screen, right here, it shows an M with, I think, the infinity symbol, but if we use the middle knob, we can actually adjust this. That stands for the amount of measures we want to sample. So I want to sample for 2 measures. Now we're going to resample this pattern. There we go. It knew to go for 2 measures. Super cool. So now, if we loop this, we essentially just have a pattern here, but it's actually a sample. Okay, now give me just one moment here. I'm going to see if I can remember how to get to the groove section here. Pitch/speed, I think. And then I want to say it's roll. Yeah, here we go. Okay, cool. So in the pitch/speed section, if you hit roll, you're going to get to the new groove section. Now remember, this is just audio. This is no longer a pattern. This right here is just audio. It's just a normal sample that I happen to be looping. You can humanize the amount of groove. So it's actually kind of working with the time stretch. It can get pretty ridiculous. So for those of you who really like those super stuttery beats, there you go. We're basically just like in 6.8 now. But it's pretty cool, right? You still got access to your effects. It goes pretty hard. Yeah, I'm grooving pretty hard off camera right now. I wonder how it works in reverse. Pretty cool. Super happy that Koala and the 404 are now friends. Yeah, I have not actually tried that feature at all. I use Koala all the time, but not as like songwriting or beat making software. I literally just use it as a sampler. I'll just let you know that I can always have in my pocket. Like if I hear a cool sound out and about, I can just sample it, record it, and then export it, to the DAW or to the 404 or to any sampler I have. Yeah, it's very, very cool, that the groove function. I haven't like gotten to the point where I can dial it in and figure out exactly how I want it to go. My Roland rep did some pretty cool stuff with it that he was showing me, which is neat. The update just became available like 10 minutes ago in the cloud app. I see. Yeah, I've seen it available for download on the website, but I did not check the app. But yeah, super, super impressed. Again, Roland did send it to me early, but they didn't ask me to stream or anything like that or even make a video. Yeah, it was super, super chill. But because the release date or the embargo date was like exactly when I stream, I had to do it, right? I had to do it. I've been very, very happy with it. The sound generator, the internal synth engine, plus all the effects. Those two things combined just right there unlocks a whole new area of sound design for me that I've actually been really enjoying, because I think a lot of it has to do with the skip back function where I can just do stuff, tweak stuff in real time.
Bodies.
Oh, that's for something else. We weren't supposed to hear that. But the fact that I made all of these drums just in a few minutes, and that we can... Whoop, they are not... They're on bus 2, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah, all that came from the 404, and I just think that's so sick. I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, it feels like it really just completes it, kind of, in terms of a groovebox. I know it was, already pretty complete in most people's eyes, but in terms of, or from the perspective of a groovebox lover who loves just making music on like one contained device, that was pretty much impossible before on the 404 because it's sample based, right? You had to sample things into it, or at least load samples in via the SD card to make stuff on it. But now you don't have to. You can bring a power bank, your 404, and a pair of headphones and go anywhere and make very creative stuff with it. The workflow, unique. I'm not going to say very unique because people complain that you can't have different levels of uniqueness. It's either unique or it's not. So it's unique. This is a unique workflow for sure. It's one that takes a little getting adjusted to, and I might actually do a video or two about that, like how to adjust to your adjust the 404 to your own liking, because I've also said several times in stream, it's so damn versatile now that there's a zillion ways to do just about anything. Skip back is huge. I didn't really use skip back that much until I got into the update, and I started playing around with the sound generator, as well as all the groove stuff too. Just like truncating random stuff too, and like resampling that can be really cool. That's on pad 7. And then just going into like pitch and speed. Oops, roll. There we go. I'm bad at using straight up resample. Oh, see? What did I tell you? Yeah, so it's interesting to me that that's like a main part of the workflow in the 404. I don't really use it that much, so like I'm kind of a novice at it. There's so many things this can do. You don't necessarily have to be good at everything on it to get use out of it. I mean, this is one of the cornerstones of my live rig. Clearly, I don't need some of these features to make this successful for me, which is just amazing. I think I love it when a device can do that. And typically the devices that do all this stuff are very, very expensive, and this is not, which is excellent. Excellent. So we're going to resample this. Whoop. I'm going to put it... What did I do? That's what I wanted, and then... like, just messing with stuff like that. And again, I know this is just stuff that isn't doesn't pertain really to the update. This is more just my discovery process of the 404. Wrong of that one. But that's okay. Oh, I always do that when I'm in this view here. Let's go ahead and truncate that. There we go. Now we have this sample right here, right? Whoops, I meant to do that on the other. I'll just change the bus of this one. How cool is that? You just go forever. This uses proper SD, although I believe it might be internal storage only. But you're not really gonna run out of room on here. There's 10 projects. Each can hold 160 samples, and each sample can be up to 16 minutes long. What's this sound like in chromatic? Like, that's a cool transition effect, right? I wish there was more range in chromatic mode. Like, I know it's just, stretching and shrinking samples for pitch, but still. I don't know if Roland owes us anything else after this last update. All right. I am going to have to wrap up the stream here pretty soon, as it is almost time for dinner for my wife and I. And it is Wednesday, which means it's time to watch Star Wars The Bad Batch as well. We're going to go from right here. Yeah. You might have to buy an S1 just because Roland was so generous with the new update. Wait, did the S1 get a new update as well? I haven't really looked into that. Yeah, I mean, we just kind of pulled that up out of nowhere, right? Sample the Bad Batch and make a beat. What would I sample from the Bad Batch that wouldn't get me a copyright strike? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna this. Just messing around, but all of that was made on the 404 thanks to that sound generator. Just an amazing sample. Just reverse the sample. Oh, the Bad Batch, yeah. Actually, let's reverse this sample here. Super cool. Very fun. It's like the beginning of Wipeout. You know, with like the laughter. But like out of a nightmare. All right, everybody. I do think that might do it for this one. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed. Roland, thank you so much for the opportunity to check out the firmware update early. You definitely helped out the live show progress quite a bit. And took a lot of the stress of moving gear around to get different samples, even just for like basic wave shapes. That basically went away once once I got the update. Hope you all out there enjoyed learning a little bit about the sound generator. For those of you downloading the update, remember Shift plus record setting is going to be your new best friend to get to the sound generator, or synth engine, basically, as I was calling it. Shift plus record setting. Yeah. Remain lets you toggle the bus that you're previewing it on. And then you can hit record to sample it. You've got more options under Shift. Don't forget about that. There was a new effect added. I haven't tried it. I believe it's like a DJ-based delay effect. I'm sure someone out there more knowledgeable than me is or more talented than me anyway, is covering it as well. Yeah, Shift plus record setting for the sound generator. Shift plus the value knob to turn skip back into the looper. And then mark to access the looper. Shift plus value, or enter to get back to it, to skip back. Those are the two big ones for me. Excuse me. And yeah, this thing is just next level now. Love it. Well, I don't think it's going to replace Serum. Like I said, it's not going to replace my Fireball, you know. It's definitely not a wavetable synth. But it does get the job done for some very cool sounds. And it is quite usable, in my opinion. Anyway, thanks, everybody. I appreciate y'all coming out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I certainly had some fun. And, yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you for Friday's video, where we take a look at this. Zoom H6 Essential. And we just do a little bit of testing with that. Hope you're looking forward to it. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I've said that a zillion times. I'm so bad at saying goodbye, but I really do appreciate y'all being here. Thanks for watching. And thanks, Roland. Go check out the 404 Mark II update if you have a 404. And if not, look into one if you are in the market for something that does a little bit of everything pretty damn well. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.